Welcome to this edition of City Pulse. I'm Pamela Payne, and I'm here with Mayor Ron Arnold. Ron, thanks for talking with us again.
Pam, it's good to be back with you.
I guess today we're going to go do some overview on things that we've currently talked about.
Great.
School is out. Big thing.
Yes.
Can you please...
Big for my wife, because there's now 5 kids at home today. So.
Can you please go over with us again the hours and operations of the pool?
Yes. The pool will open Saturday, June 1st. And the weekend hours are a little different. I believe they're 2 to 7. So that we were opening a little later. With the summer heat, we wanted to get past the noon hour. Through the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays are free sponsor days, so kids 18 and under are free each of those 3 days. And we've still got a few slots for sponsorships, so if someone's interested in one of those days, please let me know, or Brandon at the Y. And there will be 2 sessions through the week. There will be an afternoon and an evening session, and so it'll be 1 to 5 and 6 to 10. And both of those sessions are available to be sponsored. Both are free on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So for more information, please call the local YMCA. Talk to Heidi or Brandon or anyone there. They'll be able to give you hours information. The passes for families and individuals are value priced this year and a great bargain. You can intertwine those with a Y membership, makes it even a bigger value. So there's lots of ways to enjoy the pool for very little or no money. We have a new toy out there, and I don't know if Al has a picture of that up yet on elwoodindiana.org, but if he doesn't, I'm sure he will now. And it's a really cool toy. It's a bridge. It's called a bridge, but your kids will be able to climb on it, jump on it, try to walk across the pool on it. So it's a great new addition to the pool. It's already out there installed, ready to go. Everything's ready. The pool itself has a fresh new coat of paint. The pool house is ready. Everything's ready to go. So water's in, pumps are pumping, and all we need is sunshine and kids. So I think that'll happen Saturday.
Probably. I understand that there's a new Humane Society officer.
There is. Will Maljevec, who is a new graduate of Elwood Community High School, a local young man, wants to have a career in law enforcement. That's his goal as a career path. He has been hired as the new animal control officer and will work through the Elwood Police Department and with the Humane Shelter Committee on all the new things that we'll be doing to protect and to take care of the animals in our community. So we're excited. Will is a dynamic young man. He's got a great personality, and he is anxious and excited to go after it. And he has been spending time at the Madison County Humane Society. He's going to some others. So he's going to build a network of folks and friends, and I think when folks see what we have in store with our care for animals, they can't help but get excited.
I saw on the city Facebook page that Congresswoman Brooks' staff will be here in Elwood twice a month. What will they be discussing?
It's one more way, Pam, that we've been trying very hard, diligently, to bring services to this community. We have a lot of folks who aren't mobile. It's difficult to get to Anderson, it's difficult to get to Marion, to Indianapolis, or wherever outside of Elwood. So we've been very diligent this last year of bringing whatever services that are normally somewhere else to Elwood. And so this is our latest addition to that. Our Congresswoman, Susan Brooks, Elwood is now in the 5th Congressional District. Susan was elected just last year. This is her first term. And we sat down with her and explained the challenge of a lot of folks in Elwood to get somewhere else. So what she was able to do is she's bringing staff to Elwood, and we've provided office space in this city municipal building on the 1st and 3rd Wednesdays of every month from 9 to noon. There is a congressional staff person here. So if someone has a question on disability, Social Security, veterans benefits, any federal issue, they're here. And you don't have to call somewhere else. You don't have to drive somewhere else. They're going to be here the first and third Wednesday of every month. If you come in the main foyer of the municipal building, the office is just past the information desk on your right-hand side as you walk in the building. So we're excited that she agreed to extend that service to Elwood, and yet one more way that folks are a little better served by their government.
Now, when we were last at the Birch Bayh Center, we did a show, and then the flood did occur. Can you tell me the status on the Birch Bayh Center now?
I'm not going to say that you cursed the center or anything,
Thanks.
You were the last person in the center. But no. You're right. On a Thursday we were there, and on Friday the floodwaters were there. We have inspected the building. We are cautiously confident that we have come up with a procedure to make sure that the underneath of that new decking and flooring system that was installed can be properly dried and treated so that we don't have a mold issue in the building. When we're able to confirm that, the building's ready to open. At first, we were concerned that all the flooring had to be removed and reinstalled so that we didn't have a mold issue in the building. We just inspected it again last week, and we're very hopeful that this treatment method that we've come up with will expedite the opening of the center. If this treatment's successful, Pam, it will be open within a couple weeks. So we're hopeful. Again, if the treatment's successful, by mid-June, the center will open and folks will be able to take advantage of it. It's gorgeous. If you've been watching City Pulse and you missed that episode of when we were there, go back, because the inside was spared. It was all underneath that new flooring and the insulation and all the system that was wet. So we're able to dry that and make sure there's not going to be any mold. We're gonna open the doors and get folks in there utilizing it. It's a great value if you're needing a facility to rent, to utilize. It's a tremendous value.
Now, the city council meeting on Mondays have been moved to the school auditorium. Can you tell me why such a large venue, and was there like an increase in public appearance, or?
Well, I'd like to tell you it's because I'm so loved and popular that we just needed more room, but no, in all seriousness, as you know from watching City Pulse, we've been working since the first day I became mayor on the combined sewer overflow issues that we have. Our wastewater treatment plant, the last updates were in the 70s. We've been under what's called an agreed order through the Indiana Department of Environmental Management. It's been a very dire situation for our city utility. We are moving fast and furious to get a new treatment plant built, to get out from underneath the agreed order, to do all the things the city's been promising to do for many, many years. We are at a point now where we will have a public hearing on June the 3rd, Monday, June the 3rd at 7 p.m. at the Elwood Middle School auditorium. And what you will hear is what the rates will go up to, when they will go up, and what we're doing with those funds, the new treatment plant that we'll be building, why we're building it. They'll be able to ask questions, raise concerns. It's a very serious issue, Pam, when you have to raise rates. And what we want everyone to know is we have made this job one for the last 15, 16 months to make sure that the money that we spend, we have to spend, and that it is the best investment we can make with it, because it comes out of our ratepayers' pockets. So, of which you're one and I'm one, and so we're all very concerned how that impacts our city and the people who live in our city. So, please plan to attend that. No one's ever happy when prices go up. The utility has not had a rate increase since 2005, so the city has managed that utility, I believe, very conservatively and taken very seriously raising rates. All other utilities normally raise rates about every other year at the most span of time. And so to go 8 years with no rate increases is quite unprecedented for a utility or any business. So please plan to attend. Serious conversation. The good news in that, Pam, is when I became mayor, the city had already agreed to what we call a long-term control plan with the state of Indiana and the federal government. And part of that plan was 4 phases, a $35 million price tag. And I knew we could not afford that. And so we went to work on, can we do that any less expensive? What we found, phase 1 was going to cost $10 million. What we're proposing Monday on June 3rd is $7 million. So the good news in that message is we found a way to save $3 million, which means that's that much less of a rate increase you and I are going to have as utility customers. And also we got more for our money. Instead of just building a holding tank at our current plant and sort of refitting what we call the headworks, or the main system that where the sewer water comes into, we're building a whole new plant. It will be less expensive to operate. Just a whole, we've increased capacity of the plant to take in sewer water and treat it. So there are a lot of benefits and values that we have found along this last 15 months that we're excited about. Even though there's a rate increase, I believe we're bringing a much better value and approach than where we were at the beginning of 2012. So, long answer to that, but please plan to attend.
Now, I've been hearing that your office is extremely busy lately, and you're getting tons of phone calls.
You've been talking to Stacy, haven't you?
Can you inform us about this new open office policy that you have?
Yes, thank you for asking that, Pam. One of the hardest parts of the job is not to be able to talk to everyone who calls or comes in. And I take that very seriously. I want to talk to you. If you come in, you have a question, you have a concern, I want to address you when you come in. It just isn't humanly possible. I've tried for the last 16 months, many different ways to do it, and I'm limping home every night, and I'm doing a poor job of meeting with folks when they need to be met with, and just getting phone calls returned. I have a call log that Stacy puts together, and it's literally a thick binder, Pam, of people that I just need to call back, and there just aren't enough hours in the day. And so for that I apologize. If there's one thing that I can admit I've done poorly, and that's been able to return phone calls and meet with everyone who wants to meet with me. So what we're implementing is on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, from 9 to 11, and I believe 1 to 3, do you have the hour? 9 to 11 and 1 to 3, every Wednesday, is what we call open door. And they're 15-minute blocks where you can just walk in and take the next open block of 15 minutes. And you don't have to have an appointment in advance, that kind of thing. Just trying to be more accessible. And so I'll just, as I've tried to be all along, I'll be as transparent as I can and admit my deficiencies. We talk about a lot of great positive things on here, and I want to continue to do that. But one of the things I've done poorly is, if you've called me, chances are I haven't called you back. And it's not because I don't want to talk to you. I do, but that's why City Pulse is so exciting, to be able to sit down with you, Pam, every week and answer questions for folks, address issues and concerns that folks have, because this is the way to talk to a whole bunch of folks and not take 15-minute blocks at a time, because there's only so many 15-minute blocks. And so in the evenings, I've got 2 girls that play softball, I've got 2 boys that play baseball, and so there are times that, you know, when I go to the baseball field, I'm not returning your phone call. And it's not because I don't care about you or I don't want to address your concerns, but it's because, you know, we all have jobs and families and things that we're trying to juggle, and I'm no different. And so to this point, I think I've probably got about a letter, you know, grade D on returning phone calls and meeting with folks. But the good news of that, the blessing and the curse, I believe, is that people are communicating more with city government. That's great. That's what we wanted to accomplish. We don't want folks sitting in their homes, sitting in their businesses, talking with their friends and family, and coming up with their own theories about what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it. We want you to have the right information so that you know if you disagree with what we're doing, you have the right information to disagree with. And so, again, thank you, Al, to elwoodindiana.org, to you, Pam, that every week we're able to sit down and address a lot of these. That's alleviated a lot of the calls, a lot of the concerns. And, it's funny how we missed a week because of the holiday weekend. And contrary to rumors, Al is my buddy, and that's why we're back. And Pam really does like me. And I hated to miss that week because we're able to, there's so much to talk about. Mm-hmm. And some of these programs I talk too long, and people probably click off after so many minutes of watching this. But we are trying as we go. We're learning as we go. We're trying to communicate as effectively as possible. I want to hear from you, and I want to respond to you. And so if you've called here, I walked into a restaurant yesterday, Pam, for lunch, and I had a gentleman say, "Is anyone working? No one's answering the telephone." And my response is this: I have one assistant, and she's a great young lady with a heart as big as Texas and wants to serve the people of Elwood. But she's one person answering a telephone. And I'm one mayor trying to return a bunch of phone calls. And so if you would just extend us a little bit of grace and mercy in that. We are here. We're here every day. We take our jobs very seriously. I'm a full-time mayor. The city needs a full-time mayor. And Stacy and I take our jobs very, very seriously. We want to return your calls. We want to talk to you. And I know sometimes folks walk in and say, "I want to see the mayor," and she says no. They're not happy. And I wouldn't be happy either if I was the resident. But please understand, we try to be as accessible as we can. Every Wednesday, open door, 9 to 11, 1 to 3, 15-minute blocks. Please plan to come in.
And if you have a question and you don't make the 15-minute block or the phone call, ask on elwoodindiana.org on City Pulse, and you can get your answer.
Absolutely. Please, if you're watching this program, they shouldn't be calling us. They should be asking.
There you go.
They should be asking City Pulse. You'll get your question answered. If you ask on elwoodindiana.org, they will get
right
an answer.
Here.
Pam brings them every week. She's merciless on the questions. She does not take anyone off. She demands the answer. So please, if you're watching this program, shouldn't even need to call. But anyway, thanks for that opportunity to explain that. I hope folks understand. The good news is people are reaching out to their local government. We want that. The bad news is I'm just not very good at getting to everybody. So we'll keep trying, and if you'll keep helping us by watching City Pulse, asking your questions online, we'll keep doing our part as well.
Thank you for talking with me. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Pam.
Thank you for watching City Pulse.